their democratically elected representatives. It is now democratically elected representatives who are seized of this matter. And they cannot be controlled, or the issues that are before the court, before this select committee, cannot be washed or swept under the carpet by raising trivial objections at all. It's my humble submission that you overrule my learned friend. You don't have to waste time. And in doing so, you'll be guided by the able ruling that was delivered by our Speaker on 30th April 2024, which is before you. I don't wish to waste most of your time, or much of your time at all. I would prefer that we get on with the job so that we meet the timelines and we are able to proceed with the matter before you. Finally, I may point out that my learned friend, from what I can see, is trying really to buy time so that we do not finish this matter within the stipulated timelines we have been given. That's all.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, out of curiosity, if indeed the minister is innocent, why is he worried about the witnesses? This is a matter of national interest, as my lawyer has said. If indeed you are innocent, Kenyans want to know. Could be someone is trying to bring witch hunt to the minister. Let us be allowed to bring each and everybody who will set him free. The jury is in the public. When a minister, relax. Let Kenyans...
Honorable Amboka, we are just beginning the process, and please do not rush to the conclusion, and limit yourself to the time that we have given you. And may I also advise all the other parties to adhere to the time allocated during the hearing, and also the witnesses that they cannot go outside time allocated to each party. Again, it is important to note that the witnesses' submission must fit within the time allocated. If we respect that, then we'll be able to conclude on time. Now, I would want to take this time to give the ruling as per the requests that both the parties made last evening. Honorable members, given the Constitution timeline within which the committee must conclude this process, the detailed rationale behind the decision on the preliminary issues and questions will be elucidated in the committee's final report. Having said this, on the preliminary issues that the affidavit is defective, we have overruled the preliminary objection, having looked at Article 152(7) of the Constitution and Standing Orders 47(4)A, 64, and 66. Number 2, it is noteworthy that it is the exclusive authority of the Speaker of the National Assembly to determine the question of admissibility of a proposed special motion for dismissal of Cabinet Secretary, a matter that was already determined. We are now at the stage of investigation by the committee, the question of admissibility having been determined by the Speaker. Number 3, consequently, I direct that committee shall proceed to hear the matter and discharge its mandate as required under Article 152(7) of the Constitution. Number 4, as stated earlier, we shall give a detailed and reasoned ruling in our report on this matter. The question, can we admit new evidence? Honorable members, on whether the mover can call before the committee witness whose statement were not initially part of the motion as passed by the House, it is notable that Standing Order 64 primarily concerns procedural matters and does not prescribe the specific evidence to be presented before the committee. Number 2, what is important is that these investigations by this committee should and will not go outside the allegations in the special motion. Number 3, consequently, the committee shall allow any party to invite witnesses or produce new evidence, provided that the evidence strictly relates to the allegations contained in the motion. Number 4, the committee will not entertain any witness or evidence that is not relevant to or that purports to introduce new allegations outside the allegations as passed by the National Assembly. Number 5, we shall give a detailed and reasoned ruling in our report on this matter. Can the committee summon the Principal Secretary for the State Department for Agriculture and the Managing Director for KELS Chemical Limited as requested by the sponsor of the motion? The response, Article 125 of the Constitution, Section 18 of the Parliamentary Powers and Privileges Act, Standing Order 191, and our own rules of procedures gives power to this committee to summon any person to appear before it. Having said this, Honorable Wanami Wamboka should first provide the evidence for laying basis for the request so as to demonstrate the need for the exercise by the committee to summon the Principal Secretary for the State Department for Agriculture and the Managing Director for KELS Chemical Limited. The parties are accordingly guided. On referral of matters under consideration by the Select Committee, I urge all parties to restrain themselves from referring to the substance of the proceedings of the Select Committee before the committee has concluded and made up its report to the House. As per the adjustment of time, the committee has agreed that opening statement will take 40 minutes, cross-examination and the sponsor and the cabinet secretary we have given 60 minutes, and the rest of the witnesses 20 minutes. Closing statement, 1 hour. The parties are, as I said, the parties are accordingly guided, and we will proceed.
Much obliged, Your Honor.
Thank you. Opening statements by Honorable Wamboka, and you have 40 minutes. Sorry. As I said, we have allocated 40 minutes, and please be guided by the clock on the
Asante sana, Madam Mwenyekiti. With my 40 minutes, I'll give some remarks, then I'll allow my advocate to say something about the same. This is a case of gross violations of the Constitution, gross misconduct, and ministerial responsibility. National agenda of this administration of William Ruto on food security is noble. And from the onset, I must say, we support the president because agriculture is the backbone. If the country is food secure, then you have a healthy nation. It is too critical a matter for this country to be jeopardized. Madam Chair, various violations meted out against innocent Kenyans through distribution of fake fertilizer, as we will be demonstrating to this noble committee. Consumer rights have been violated, and someone must be held accountable. Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock has got a head who must take responsibility. In fact, in serious democracies, by now, the minister should have resigned. Honorable Committee. This is one of the flagship of Honorable William Ruto. And as I said, we support the president. And that is why I'll draw your attention to the voting in the House. Honorable Chair, it was bipartisan. It was bipartisan. That is how serious this matter is. I've looked at the responses from my good friend, and indeed is my friend, the thicho Linturi. There is a lawyer saying that says, I would wish that this should become this, so that I don't listen to what the Honorable Minister is trying to say. That, Honorable Chair, 149 members of Parliament, and indeed those who were in the House that day, will understand that there were more people. Cards were not working, and the Speaker ruled on this. 19 members, including the Honorable Nabina Bwera, my good uncle, the Honorable Mchomba, they did not vote. 19 members of Parliament who supported this motion and who were in the House did not vote. It should be understood that 24 members of Parliament were out of the country, had petitioned the Clerk of the National Assembly if they can vote virtually. 24. Those numbers are growing. It is incredibly unserious. Honestly, a whole National Assembly saying something is wrong. Something is wrong. And it will be whatever happens to this case, it will be it will be not business as usual. Because that voting, it was a vote of no confidence to the minister. It has consequences. I would be keen to imagine how ambassadors will be dealing with it. Our good friends on high moral ground, the United States, the EU, of which we shall be appealing to them, that indeed the National Assembly has passed a vote of no confidence. In that alone, it speaks volumes.
it speaks volumes. And I think the minister has guts even to be here today. This motion is not about me. This motion is not about the National Assembly. I had some good friends in Meru saying we are targeted. No, we have very many good Merus, including my good friend, who is at times my lawyer. He's a good Meru. He's a good Meru. It's not about Merus. Merus are good people, and I want it to be understood in this committee. It is not about Kenya Kwanza.